Tony Barnes, an amazing influence on the game development community and game development in general. So let's roll to hit his trailer right now.
Between you and me, as I seize the moment and you with that foolery, shine like the jewelry, hit him like boom, what you gon' do to me? You ain't got speed like me, you ain't fast, you ain't quick, you ain't swift for your feet like me. I got endurance, by that look in your eyes I can tell that you nervous, but you won't ever beat me, and I'll be out so fast that you won't ever meet me. Don't hate it, I'm the greatest, think it's luck, well, you should see me out in Vegas. It's no opposition, myself is the only competition, so slam, bow, bam, boom, making this shit make some damn boom. Oh, now that's how you change the game. That's how you change the game, man. Start with a little bit of to be great, man, it's something I want. Like you, bow, slam, boom, that's how you change the game. That's how you change the game. Oh, now that's how you change the game. Like you, bow, slam, boom. Now that's how you change the game.
So that was Tony Barnes' amazing demo reel. He's been in the business for decades and very influential in game development. We met for the first time, I believe, at an E3 when I was introduced through a friend. And when he was telling me the games that he worked on, I was like, that's basically my childhood. I cannot believe.
I played at least half of those games, and it's super amazing that we're talking to him right now. So I'm really excited about this opportunity.
What's up, Tony?
What's up?
How you doing?
I'm on. It's 11 on a Sunday, so it's a little slow. But
I feel you. Where are you at? Are you in LA?
Technically Orange County, but yeah, SoCal.
Nice.
But
nice.
I'm Bay Area born and raised. Shouts out to 415, 510. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
Yes.
Represent Oakland. What's up?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So if everyone doesn't know, we're actually in Berkeley, really close. I live in Oakland. It's been a crazy experience being here through everything that's happened. It's been emotionally draining, to be honest. And you're saying like 11 a.m. on a Sunday. We were like scrambling. Let's get this show together. Let's talk to all these amazing developers. And we're seeing this firsthand every day since, everything's happened with George Floyd and the previous tragedies, So it's amazing to have you on board and that you represent Oakland as well. But yeah, we want to talk to you about like your wealth of knowledge and experience in the game industry. It like I was saying when we first met, I just couldn't believe that all of the stuff that you've worked on, because you're not like extremely boisterous about you know what I mean, everything that you've done.
Yeah, I used to have a little slogan that I was the biggest thing you've never heard of, because I'm all over the place but never really shouting about it. But, I think it's time for that. So
So when did you get started? When did you get your first start?
So I started when I was 12. They put Apple computers in school. So I was like 6th grade, and the teachers didn't know what to do with them. So I said, "Oh, I know," but I was lying. But you fake it till you make it. So the teacher was like, "All right, well, we'll let Tony, have some fun." And I wanted to be an animator, actually. I was doing stop motion, I wanted to be the next Ray Harryhausen combined with like George Lucas and Prince somehow. And when I got a hold of the computer, it's like oh, I can move stuff and it doesn't take 6 months, so let me do this. And then I just started learning how to program from there, and then it just boomed. But I grew up dirt poor, so couldn't have a computer of my own. So I ended up actually writing down programs like during class and everything. I write them on binder paper. Then I would take the binder paper and I would walk to my friend's house. My friend lived about 2 miles away. I'd walk to his house, type in stuff, see what worked, fix what didn't, and I just kept doing that until I actually got a game done. Then growing up in the Bay Area, you're fortunate, it was pre-internet, but I was fortunate I had access to video game companies around. So there was this magazine called Antic, and it was all about the Atari. I straight walked into their offices because I looked at the address. It was downtown San Francisco.
You just walked into their
office.
That's amazing.
I sat down, I made like 3 games, and then I walked in with a disc and I handed it to them and said, I think you guys could use these. And the receptionist looked at me like I was nuts and said, okay, I'll pass it on. And I didn't think anything was going to happen. I'm just a 14-year-old kid. And sure enough, they called me back and said, we love them. Here, sign away your rights. And I did.
Wow.
And it was sold.
That's crazy. So you essentially basically bootstrapped your own games and got yourself into the industry. I'm thinking back to when I wanted to actually get into gaming and how I was sort of essentially wasn't able to get in. I just went into tech. I never thought of the fact just walking into some corporate office and like, here's my stuff and I'm gonna throw it in your face. That's very bold. That takes a lot of courage that I don't think a lot of people have. And if somebody was going to be entering this industry, how would you sort of what advice would you give them in order to like really as a developer of color, as a person who's seriously interested in being in this business, what would your recommendation be to get started?
I always tell everybody, make something. It's the most important thing. It's going to sound harsh, but ideas are free, execution costs. So everybody's got an idea. I could give you like 10 ideas right now and not even sweat it, because I know that it's only down to the people that are going to make it. And I've done thousands and thousands of interviews for designers and artists over my 35 years at various companies. And the people that I look at and the people that I put on are the ones that made something, the ones that can show me that they're hungry and they want it. Not, I got an idea. How about, Jean-Claude Van Damme? And it's like, whatever,
I hear that all the time too. It's crazy.
And the thing is like, I guess I was bold. I don't know. I was just like, man, I got these games. My friends like them. Maybe I could, get in there. But nowadays, you have access. You have access to people. If somebody wants to hit me up, hit me up on Twitter. You have access to all the information you need. You have engines, and so really, you need to get out there and get your idea out there. And even if somebody doesn't want to put you on, that's like, a publisher or whatever, you can ship it yourself, and I didn't have that when I grew up. So I went into AAA and into working for people. I think I worked for people a little longer than I should have, but but I went into that route because you couldn't really distribute your own stuff back in the 80s. You had to have somebody, but now you can push a button and talk to millions of people.
Real quick, can you run down a list? I know we just saw your demo, right? And you've been working on games for, you said 35 years, right?
Yeah.
What can you run down your list of some of the games that you worked on? Because I think that people need to hear that.
Oh my God. No, see, honestly, I forget sometimes when I'm running this stuff through my head, because there's stuff that I've touched and it's been like, oh yeah, that's right. General Chaos, Crew Ball,
This
Harley's
dude
Humongous Adventure.
This dude behind the camera is like General Chaos. I remember that. I was like, we should have another General Chaos. But anyway, keep going. My bad.
We should. And actually, I just saw that the original. So I did some what they call AP, assistant producer kind of. So it's kind of design light, but mostly feedback and all that. But I was talking to the original designer, and he's trying to get off the ground a sequel.
That is so dope. Yeah.
A lot of us old heads are out there going, you know what? People liked our stuff before. Maybe we should do it again.
Absolutely.
But yeah, that was just a handful of 16-bit stuff. There's Legacy of Kain, Madden Football, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, which I think is actually it's over there somewhere. Yeah. Wrath. Worked on pre-production for Getting Up, which is Mark Echo.
Yeah.
Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. That was fun because we basically had to throw everything away that we had started on, and then basically did that game in about a year, start to finish. While the movie was moving out from underneath us. Star Trek DS9 The Fallen, Strider, love Strider, Medal of Honor 2010, and of course the Strike series, Desert, Jungle, Urban, Soviet, Nuclear. Even briefly, there's stuff I've touched. Like I said, I forgot. Like even worked on some these stunt levels in Jet Moto 3. Man, I wish I had known you were asking. I'd have a nice healthy list in front of me.
Dude,
that's off the top of my head.
That was off the top of your head.
And there's a whole slew of edutainment stuff. That I had done too, because see, I have twins. Shout out to Alan and William. Those are my older twins. They're now like 30. I know I hate to say that, but that makes me something else. But I got two sets of twins, and I always thought, I want to do some educational stuff. So back in '90, I did some educational stuff, Berenstain Bears stuff. Did the first CD-ROM ever for Windows called Compton's New Media Encyclopedia, which is based on the Britannica Encyclopedia. It's been a long road.
So what's the next evolution? You got Retro Ninja. You just announced that you were doing your own thing. You're sparking a new venture. You want to take this into your own hands. So what do you got going on right now? Can you talk a little bit about Retro Ninja?
Yeah. So Retro Ninja is my new independent company down here in SoCal. I was just sitting there, and I get antsy when I'm not making stuff, often. And like every second of every day, there's a new idea,
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, you gotta make it. And if you're sitting there working for somebody else and their schedule, what they're doing is not kind of aligning with what you want to do, then maybe you got to make a change. And so I was sitting there and going, it's been over 3 decades, and I should probably make that change right now. So Retro Ninja is my new company, and it's focused on the kind of games I used to make, arcade, action, adventure, brawling, all of that stuff that a lot of companies aren't doing right now, because they don't, they're just chasing the big money. Everybody's like, how do I make the new Fortnite, or how do I make, Last of Us 3 or whatever? and that's cool. I got plenty of friends that work on all of those games, and I play them and all that. But when I sit and think about what I like to play on the regular and what I like to make, it's not those type of games, you know. It's more like what I've done before, like Strider, like Buffy, you know, even to some extent like Medal of Honor, and certainly like Kane and Strike, where they're mechanics focused games, they're, you know, arcade action games, and there's something really visceral about them.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times when I was working in a big studio environment, a lot of people would go, "Oh, we can't do that because that's just over the top." And I'm all, "That's the money," you know?
Yeah, you gotta do unique things.
So why do you think there's a sort of a not an investment in the sort of the game mechanics and the sort of the retro games anymore? Why do you think that the companies are diverging from that or not investing in that?
Like I said, a lot of them are chasing the big money because they need to put, you know, so many people in place, and they need to feed that machine. You know, I'm not looking at putting 100 people onto something for 3 years or even more than that. So the return on investment for me is a lot lower than someone like Electronic Arts or something going, yeah, we need to make sure that this thing sells, you know, 20 million units or it's a failure or something like that. So they're out there doing the big blockbuster stuff, you know, kind of like Hollywood. And that's cool, because I think you need that. You need that engine to help drive. It's great whenever outsiders look at our business and go, "Oh, look at how many billions it makes." But the little guy's not making the billions. You know, I ain't make billions, and and so I just think there's an underserved market, and that it's because those guys don't see the big dollars there until maybe someone else does it, and then they go, "Oh, you know, we'll dip our toe in." So if I have to go in there and show them that there's still value in doing something that's like, you know, AA or big I indie, then I'm down. I'll do that.
What is your team composed of? Are you rolling this out like lone wolf style, or do you have a team that's surrounding you developing your next projects? Just curious.
I have a short list of people, and they know who they are, or maybe they don't. I don't know. I'm probably gonna get a whole bunch of emails. "Oh, you know, I'm on a list, blah blah blah." But right now, this first one is Lone Wolf, and that's primarily because, you know, the bootstrapping, trying to keep costs low, but also when you make something and you're part of a big team and everything, everybody's like, "Oh yeah, like, oh, that's cool, you know, you made this thing, but what really did you do?" And it's great to be in a team and to contribute. For me, coming from where I came from, like I told you, I sat down and wrote my first game on binder paper and then turned it in and everything. I just wanted to roll back to that. You know, for this first one that I'm gonna roll out, I wanted to show people, it was like, by the way, I didn't just put those things about music and code and art and design on my resume for bullet points. I mean it. I live it every day.
Yeah, for sure. That's pretty sick, like, for sure.
Absolutely. So I want to talk a little bit about access in this industry. I know that there's obviously a problem with access for folks of color in this industry. So what did you do that's different besides just bootstrap it yourself? And so how did you worked in AAA, you worked in a number of really profitable on titles. Like, how did you network your way, and how did you sort of overcome these barriers for as a person of color in this industry?
I'll tell you, probably the first thing was not going by my real name. That sounds funny. But honestly, like everybody knows me as Tony, but that's not my real name. And part of the reason I changed my name was because people just couldn't say my name. Yeah, my name is Lavelle, my real name. And for some strange reason, strange reason, people could not say it. I'm not even, you know what? I'm not going to tell you the catalyst that made me change my name, but I'll just say it was a teacher that called me out my name in third grade because she couldn't say it.
Wow.
But
really?
Wow. But that kind of thing.
Yeah.
The name thing, it might still be there, to be honest. Like I don't know. I don't know if I would have been put on as much as if I was Lavelle. Someone looked at a resume and said, "Who's Lavelle? Am I going to hire him?" But
so you legally changed your name to Tony.
Yeah, but I'm not telling people to change their name. I'm just giving you. I'm giving you some insight. But like, I feel like things like this are great because I never knew that there was anybody like me out there making games.
Yeah.
It wasn't until being in games for like 10, 15 years that I even heard of Jerry Lawson. And there could be others like Jerry or like me who nobody knows about. So I'm trying to, not just be out there saying, "Oh, waving my banner and saying Retro Ninja," but I'm trying to let people know we're out there. We've been there. We've been influencing. We've been touching the products that you guys love, and so support us.
Yeah, I think
get us in the door, and if we can't get in the door, then support us. Support us, with your love, with your words, and with your dollars.
That's dope, dude. For sure. Yeah, I think what's really interesting is you said you wrote out a program, a game, you went in and handed it off. I think that's what a lot of us do in this industry, game development wise. Like, we're not, like you were saying, you don't run around with a banner. I don't run around saying, "Hey, guess what? I'm black, guys." You know what I mean? I'm just being super honest. Yeah. It's like, I'm working really hard to do whatever it takes to make this happen. I told myself that I would die before I quit to get into this industry. And I didn't even think about the racial aspect because we're dealing with this every day. So that's just a part of it anyway. It's just really making the work speak for itself, grinding to make things happen, make games and that kind of thing. And that's awesome that you represent that. And that's a testament of, to that kind of mindset. It's like, we're developers, like we're grinding on that.
We are all creators and we are all artists. It's crazy. I was sitting there at Amazon and they hired this new kid. His name's Trey Vitale. He's a tech artist. Check his stuff out. He's awesome. But he came in and they were showing him around, and the second that he turned the corner and saw me, I saw his eyes light up, and we looked at each other and we knew. That look.
Yeah, that look.
Give the
nod.
Yep. And the thing is like there should be more of that. And I shout out to him because I was sitting there getting complacent. I was like, yeah, it's all good. I've been doing this for like 3 decades. Yeah. And he was new, and he still is. And he has that fire where he was like, I'm doing this on the side, I'm doing that hustle and all that. And I was like, man, where do you find the time for all that? And he said, you just got to make time. You just got to make time, even if it's just pushing something ahead 1 hour a day. 1 hour, that's still 1 hour closer. And it's crazy that I've been doing this forever, and it took the new generation to remind me of that kid that walked into that shop with a disc in his hand and said, "You need these games."
That's why I work with the students in our program, is because they keep me engaged. They keep that fire in me because I'm seeing the industry through their eyes, because my lens of the tech industry is much different than their lens of the tech industry. Like, they're brand new to it. I was in the tech industry alone. Like, there was always literally like the only black guy that working at the company. And then when you go into that and when you see a small number of those folks of color in that industry, and you're like, all right, now there's a little bit of momentum. I want to push harder. That even gives me that drives me harder to want to do more.
Yeah. I think it's true. We're gonna say something.
Sorry. No. So, yeah. I mean, that's again why I'm out here. Is like I said, I'm not just out here trying to wave my own banner. I'm just like trying to let people know, hey, we're out here and we've been here. So I'm gonna get mine. You get yours. You know. and honestly, the best way to do it is to do it.
Yeah, you just gotta make things happen. Yeah.
Don't talk about it. Be it. I feel bad that I couldn't get you a trailer for my new thing, but you know,
your new thing is dope. Yeah, we'll do this again. This is not going to be the one and only time we do this. Because I think
you saw a little snippet. So.
It looks super sick. I was like, he did this by himself, of course. And before we wrap up, like, you aren't just a programmer. You're doing art, design, rigging, probably. Like, you're running the gamut of the development process. And it's, I think what's interesting, like you're saying, don't talk it, or don't just say you have these ideas. You have to put in the work to understanding how each one of these facets of the development work. Because, I mean, number one, even if you do want to just be an artist, or you do want to just be a designer, you having the ability to understand each one of those areas of game development allows you to communicate to those people who are going to be in your team that much better, and to be a manager, or to be a producer, or if you're an artist and you're trying to get the programmer to do something design-wise, you need to communicate that, and you understand it from their perspective, and then they will understand it from our perspective. So grinding to make that happen, to understand that, is, I think that's vital too. Like, if you really want this, you got to really, do everything it takes to make it happen.
Yeah, because I mean, for everyone's success story, there's 10,000 people that said, I got an idea and didn't do anything with it. Maybe 100,000.
Yeah. But thank you so much for hopping on board. What the heck? On board, Tony. It was amazing to talk to you, as always. Where can they find you? And can you just share about your info about Retro Ninja, what you got going on, and then for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'm out there on all the Twitters and the Facebooks and all that.
You on TikTok too?
My son is. My son, one of my younger twins, rocking a modeling and acting career right now. So he's active on TikTok and IG. Well, I'm an old head. I'm not a boomer though. Don't even put me in that. Remember, I started young. So, but you can check me on retroninja.com, retroninja5 on Twitter, Facebook /retroninja, and I'm always open. Hit me up.
Cool. Awesome. Well, thanks so much for joining us. Everybody, check out Retro Ninja. Some amazing things on the horizon.